Getting over being sick. Still gotta take care of the animals though. Morning, Shelby. Good morning, Rhonda. Hey, Sherry. Yeah, a little bit. Hey, Jill. Hey, Mr. Money. Thank you. Yeah, so yesterday was probably the worst of it. I did feel much better waking up. I still got a cough and my throat hurts, but not as bad. So I think yesterday was the worst. So getting back to it. The chickens yesterday when I went out there, you could tell they're like, what the fuck? Where's our snacks? Because I didn't stay out to hand feed the chickens. Like I just put their water down, added food, walked away. And literally, as I walked out of the coop area, they all came up to the door like, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. It took everything just to walk out there. So. It took all my energy, which that's what I was doing. I was saving all my energy just to like take care of animals. So. It's like 7 degrees right now. I'm tired of the chills. Okay. No heated floors, no hand-fed snacks. What the hell? Yeah, they probably got pampered being in the house. Although one of my roosters has to come back in. Yesterday, like I did peek inside the coop. I like to put my eyes on all the chickens at least once a day just to make sure everybody's like healthy. And I looked in and one of the roosters had poop on his butt. And well, like that doesn't indicate like anything's wrong specifically. If you leave poopy on their butt and then it blocks their vent, their cloaca, then they could get backed up and that can kill them. So Chris, he's going to the store for me this morning and I'll have him get some Epsom salts. So that rooster, I think it's Sophie, will be coming back into the house to get a bath, which should be fun, an Epsom salt bath. But before I put him outside, I will blow dry him, which I'm sure he will love, Ugh. Yeah, it's going around, Patricia. Something is. My neighbor, Holly, that has the maple syrup farm, she got it because Chris was supposed to meet her this morning, and she had to cancel. They canceled Monday because she was sick. And they're both still not feeling good, so they agreed that they'll wait till next week. So, yeah, spa treatment for Sophie. Yeah, Chris is doing better. We both are. Although, like, the cold sensitive thing kind of sucks because obviously living somewhere like this, that's not nice. Morning, baby. Oh, a little squirrel. Oh my gosh. Oh, come back. Were you stealing chicken food? Oh, he was skippity pamping. Hi. Morning, babies. All right. Little squirrel was skippity papping. Fuck. Okay. Hang tight. Ugh. Skippity paps. Skippity squirrel paps. Okay. Hang on. Let me get that. Hi, good morning. Yeah, I haven't been out here to like take care of things, so that's gonna happen. Okay, tricky time. Ugh. There's the babies. Get you water. Good morning. Don't worry, I'll get you food and everything. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, babies. Good morning, ma'am. There you go. Nice warm water. Good morning. Hi, chickadee. Good morning. Don't worry. They're waiting for snacks. These three little ones, they're like, see? He's like, get the snacks. She's like, that's what I thought. Get them snacks. I know, I got the bag. They know the bag. They know the bag. Good morning. One of you is getting a bath today. You. He's getting a spa day. There we go. Dancy dance. Far down, far down. Morning, late. Oh, everybody's out. Good morning. There you go. Aw, thank you for that super gift, guys. I appreciate that. Sir, I will get you the snacks. Just hang tight. Far down. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. You got the dancy dance. What is it? 2 still inside. We good? Hi, ladies. Good morning. Would you like some snacks? Yeah. You come running for the snacks. Oh, God, violence. Dad. I'm sorry, I can't stay out very long. But let me see your butt. Good. Yeah, it's you. Yeah, it's Sophie. Yeah, you're getting a bath today. Let's show you. There we go. Alright, I love you. Be good. Yeah, Sophie needs a bath. Gotta soak his butt. Stop it. My poor little cluckers. Not getting all the attention they're used to. I'm sorry. Nor are they getting heated floors, but you know, can only do so much. Yeah. Let's go back inside for a bit. Oh man. I actually have a bunch of computer work to do today. So let me tell you guys. So yesterday I just rotted on the couch the entire day, and I started binge watching a show, Love After Lockup. I mean, if you want to feel good about yourself, watch that show, because at least you're not in that position. Like, thank you, Sherry. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Has anybody seen it? Oh, it's such a good one, Maggie. Oh my God. You're an attorney. That cracks me up. That show is crazy. Oh, good, Sherry. Oh my God. So I just finished the one where the guy who is in jail and he gets out, he's married to the one girl who he has a baby with. And then he also went on like the prison inmate love finder thing and got himself a girlfriend too. And so anyway, so ends their story. The girls find out about each other, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I hate him. But then when it gives the update, it's like they're still talking to him. Like, what? It's good tea.
With who?
No, like that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm like, I'm sitting on the couch. Okay. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, well, at least that's not my life, you know? That is wild. And then I guess, like, there is a common theme there. If we can break this down about these people, they cannot regulate their emotions, like, at all. And we've talked about it on live streams before, how sometimes when people have trauma in their youth, they kind of get stunted there emotionally. So, like, if you, there's so many that are like, oh, I was kicked out of the house at 10 or 12 or whatever, but they also have the emotional maturity of a 10 or 12-year-old. Like, sometimes people get stuck there, you know? So I did find that seemed to be the case. Morning, Jamie. Like, they all seem to be kind of emotionally stunted. And they all live in this, like, kind of catch 22 situation. Like, the ones that are in prison are like, oh, I do what I want, you know, like, I can't be held down. You can't be giving me no rules and stuff like that. And then they're like, I'm much more comfortable in prison. I'm like, um, wait. Like no, Chris is going to feed the cows now. I'm still kind of sick, so we're kind of divvying up things. So it's just kind of ironic that the one guy, or actually several of them, are like, yeah, I don't like rules. You can't tell me what to do. I don't do well working for other people. You know, like, you know, bosses and, you know, giving me rules and, you know, telling me how to do work at a certain time and telling me I can't do this and that, blah, blah, blah. But then at the same time being like, I like prison life. 6 dogs, does that make you uncomfortable? Hi, baby. Being that I'm an art school dropout, but also, but I spent my years in college doing criminal justice. Like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about those things because that's what I studied. Let's see, but anyway, but it doesn't even require like a degree to look at someone and be like, okay, let's break it down. Let's break it down because you see it on the show, like they go through these roller coasters, like 1 second, like, and it'll be like the person waiting to pick the person up, and they're like, I'm so happy, but then like crying hysterically, being like, they need to let him out now, and happy and hysterical anger, and just it's called Love After a Lockup. It's just, and they all seem to their emotions peak and valley very sharply in short amounts of time, and not just on like the day of release or whatever. Barrett, stop it. He's licking the foam stand. Stop it. But on other things too, like they'll be like, oh, I love you, baby, and then somebody will say one thing that'll set them off. Like, you can't be tying me down. You can't give me no rules and stuff. Like the one guy, they were like shopping for wedding rings. So happy and like, I'll give you what you want, baby, that sort of thing. But then they get in the car and he's like, I don't know why you want a ring. Like, it doesn't take a PhD to be like, ooh, you don't have emotional regulation. Yeah, very middle school, because I remember kids were like that in middle school, because there'd be like, you know, let's talk about 6th, 7th grade, a boy and a girl would be dating, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend situation. One day, they're so happy and in love, and everybody's like, oh my God, they're going to get married. And then the next day, they're breaking up because he talked to another girl in second period. You know, I'm getting flashbacks. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because, Anna, what grade do you teach? Or do you teach 6th or 7th grade? Yeah, daily life in middle school. You're like somewhere right on that border of middle school and junior high, which I feel like are the most. I feel like 7th and 8th grade were the worst years for kids having the most unhinged peaks and valleys. You know, the relationships last a week. Yeah, 6. Yeah, that's what I thought. So you're right there. They're not super unregulated yet, but like they're really fucking close. 11 years of 7th grade for a total of 25. Yes. So the most violent swings from kids, like, but that's like watching that show. I'm like, oh wow, they definitely got stunted there for whatever happened in their life or whatever they're going through. that's where they're at emotionally. Because, like, you know, so I didn't get to live with my husband for like a year, okay? I was up here in Maine by myself taking care of this property while my husband was down in Pennsylvania. And seeing him, like, I was super happy to see him, but there wasn't, I feel like the peaks and valleys of that for me were like, oh, like, it's still pretty even keeled because, like, I know I'm going to see him, like, I know, you know, everything's going to be all right. And I guess I just have that kind of outlook on life, like, no matter what happens, everything will be fine. It'll be as it's supposed to. That's my mentality. But it seems like people on that show, they go through such extremes. Like, everything is great, everything is terrible, everything is wonderful, everything is fucking awful. Like, they hit rock bottom every other day with their emotions. And, yeah, wow, it's just like fucking whiplash. Like, so in love, I hate him. So in love, that piece of shit. But also, I feel bad for the girls that, like, find out the men are cheating on them and stuff, and then they still bail them out or give them another chance. And I'm like, he's showing you who he is. Stop it. Does it clap? I don't know. Ask your dad. Anyway, so if if you're down about anything in your life and you're like, man, this sucks and I don't know where I'm going in life, go watch Love After Lockup, because that will, like, I'm on top of the world, you know. Everything is great. At least my life isn't that. Also, just the fact that anyone, hell yeah. The fact that anyone, I'm sorry, one of the most common things that the girls or the guys who are on the outside waiting for the inmate, you know, they meet them through, like, whatever, inmatefinder.com or Love for Inmates or whatever. Already, they have to acknowledge that they have very low self-esteem, for sure. Y'all realize it's real crazy people. Yeah. No shit. That what they'll say about these inmates that they've spoken to and have never met is they're like, oh yeah, he's been so good to me. How? He's in prison. He's never given me a reason not to trust him. He's in prison, or she is in prison. That kind of gives me a reason not to trust them. And I'm not saying that all inmates are bad, and, you know, like, however, that right there already, we are not starting off this relationship with, like, peak levels of trust, you know, especially when thievery, bribery, money laundering, just all the things that say, hey, you probably can't trust this person, you know. They all say that. They're like, oh, but, you know, like, I trust him, he never lies to me. You seem drunk or sleepy. Well, I am sick. I've been sick the past few days. That's why I wasn't live yesterday. I don't know if you could hear it in my voice. I am feeling better today, but it could be the tussin, you know. Some of that cough medicine gives you the, you know. Oh God, you know where they are 24/7. Yeah, exactly. And that's why when they get out of prison, that's why the person that was on the outside is super insecure now, because now this person has free reign. That person wanting the prisoner wants them to be their personal prisoner. Yes. And one of the first episodes, there was a girl like that. He got out of prison and she's like, you need to be with me 24/7. I'm like, ooh, red flag. I mean, the prisoner was a red flag, but she was an even bigger red flag. She's like, you're mine. And I need no, she was like calling his cell phone that she got him 24/7. And then she insisted that he got an iPhone so that she could track his location. And I'm like, and she's like, no, I trust him. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah, if you're in prison, what can you do? You're not going anywhere. Yes, exactly. I know, Deborah. I get the Phoebe from Friends a lot. She ran him away. Yeah, I mean, like, there was definitely that. There was the fact that he was pretty immature, too, to be handling, like, she wanted to get married, like, right now, right? Like, as soon as they got out. And he's like, I don't want to do that. And she's like, we're doing that. No, run. Love after lockup. Women love sneaking through phones. So do men. Trust me, so do men. Men who are cheating love sneaking through your phones too. I know because that's what my ex-husband did. He was caught cheating several times, and he was always going through my phone and my emails and my computer. Even though I wasn't the one doing the cheating, he was. But like, it was that projection thing of like, I'm cheating, so she must be. And surprise, surprise, he was a cop. So, good morning, North Carolina. Good morning from North Carolina. Happily married, no dating apps for me. And especially no dating apps where you find prisoners to date. Yeah. Hey, Linda. That would be, and I get it. A lot of them are like, I was lonely. And I guess, I don't know. They say that it makes them feel comfortable because they know that if they're a prisoner, that they're not getting in trouble and they're not doing other things. And I'm like, to an extent, because they still get caught doing things in prison. But also, they're on this website where you found them to start chatting with them. What makes you think they're not chatting with other women? Because, like, I feel like a lot of the times, like, the inmate apps, from what I've learned from the show, is they are just looking for people to put money on their books. Now, I have a story, a personal one. Story time. I don't know if I've told this one before. So, my ex-husband's family, he has, they're Mormons, so there's a bunch of, he's the oldest out of them all, and there's a lot of siblings, but one of them, I won't say her name, but one of them, I remember, I met her when she was 7, and like I said, my ex-husband, he was the oldest, and his youngest sister was 4 when I met him, so Mormon families. But the one sister, she was 7 when I met her. And quite honestly, she was my favorite. She was the sweetest, definitely middle child syndrome kind of thing. She was so sweet. She took care of all the younger ones. If anything, like when the younger ones needed something, the mom would be like, 7-year-old, go take care of them. And she would. And she was like a little mommy at 7. I felt bad for her. So every chance that I got, I would take her out with me. Like if I was going to the store, she came to some of my college classes with me because I was like, hey, you want to get out of the house and stop taking care of kids because you're 7, 8, 9 years old, you know? It just wasn't very fair. So anyway, when she was a teenager, she got caught up. And this is going to get into, yes, love after lockup. This is going to get into some other shit that, you know what, might piss some people off, but like, I'm saying this from a place of experience. So this little girl has now grown into a 16-year-old. Mind you, she is 100% Navajo. Living out in Utah at the time, yes. So she's living out in Utah with her family. She starts hanging out with 2 guys that she met, and 2 guys that she met who were illegal immigrants and involved in gangs. They had already been deported. One of them had been deported twice. The other one had been deported once, and they both hopped the border and had come back into the U.S. illegally, both times. And mind you, they were heavily involved in gang activity. One of them, like, they got deported because they had already been committing crimes in the U.S. This is all around 2015, by the way. So she starts hanging out with these two guys, and she's with them when they do a drive-by that ends up killing a 7-year-old girl. Horrifying, horrible. And she was just in the vehicle. It was the one guy who had been deported twice that shot at the person, missed, hit his 7-year-old sister. So all that's terrible. And like, I have my own opinions. Like, you know how right now everybody's like, a lot of people are really happy with what Trump is doing with shutting down the border and deporting illegal immigrants, migrants and stuff. I'm with it because like I have physically seen what happened. This little girl she had such a bright future. She was such a good person. She was such a good little girl. She took care of everyone around her. She had 3 younger brothers that she took care of. She was basically the mother to. She gets involved with these 2 illegal immigrants who had been deported, kept coming back, involved in gangs, and now here she is. She did 20 years in prison. She just got out. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, I get that, Anna. And see, the reason why I brought up is she's 100% Navajo is before they found out that she was Navajo, they immediately just thought that she was one of them. So there was that whole thing going on too. There was a lot going on with that situation. They mistook her for an illegal immigrant and all this other stuff. She ended up doing 20 years, but I remember she called me from prison and we talked a couple times, and I hadn't spoken to her in a few years. So, and I was just like, what is going on? I'm like, May, what did you get yourself into? Like, you were so good. Like what happened? And she's just like, I was just hanging out with these guys. They were my friends. I didn't know that. I don't so much believe. I'm sure she knew that they were gangbangers. So they got deported again, Deborah. And one of them got caught again in 2018 back in the United States for raping a girl. So, which is fucking wild. So who knows where he's at now. Anyway, so she called me, and then the first 2 calls were like, you know, like, hey, how are you? Just, you know, like hanging in there, that sort of thing. And then she started calling me, not to see how I was doing, not for anything. It was just immediately going into, can you put money on my books? And I'm like, and at that time, like I didn't have a lot of money, you know, like I have a young child. I'm taking college classes, you know, and it just like, I think I got probably 5 more calls from her, and they were all like, hey, I need money. And the last one got me, and I never took a call from her again because she called me asking me for $10,000. And I was like, honey, I don't have $10,000. I don't even have $1,000 to my name right now. Like, I'm in school. So yeah, that was the last time that I took a call from her, because it went from like, you know, hey, how are you? Like, you know, like do better for yourself. I was like trying to encourage her, like take college classes while you're there, take a trade school, do something while you're there, anything. To her, like just completely disregarding all of that. Yeah. So Robert, and I don't know if you watched this show, Love After Lockup, but also like from my experience of, you know, this whole situation, they you could put money in their books so that they could buy things to trade for drugs or other things that they could trade within the system. And, you know, and $10,000 is not a lot, but it can get you it could get you ahead if you're in prison, you know, like first time watcher. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like that's, so watching this Love After Lockup show and hearing about all these girls putting money on their books, and guys and men putting money on books for women and stuff, and I'm just like, that's fucking wild. And when they're like, oh, I trust them so much, I'm like, you shouldn't. I knew this girl, like these people haven't even met these people on the outside. They just met them through this like online dating app thing for prisoners. And they're like, I trust them so much. I knew this girl. I knew this girl from the time she was 7 years old. And it was so fast that she like switched and started doing like that whole like thing to get people to put money on their books so that they could trade drugs and do shit, you know, like it just it's so watching it, I'm like, you idiot. And I'm like, I never sent her money. I did send her books. Like when after the second phone call I had with her, I went on Amazon. You can send gifts to people on Amazon. You could send gifts to prisons, but you have to have all the information right, you know. Let you know. Yes, Deborah. So I sent her books, and when I asked her about it, I was like, hey, did you get the books? She was like, yeah. And she didn't even say thank you or anything like that. I'm like, all right. Like, here, like, she was all, yeah. I'm going to do better. I'm going to, like, you know, get ahead while I'm in here. I'm going to, like, go to college. I'm going to do a trade, all this stuff. And I was just like, you know, this is a great time to, like, read and like, do things to, like, to build yourself back up. Did she do it? No. So just anyway, watching this Love After Lockup, I'm just like, oh, man. The fact that people are so trusting, I guess, let's see. What's the story on the neck tattoo? Do you care to share? It's a neck tattoo. That's all. Yeah. About that $10,000. Yes. No, the peeing is a filter for the turtle tank and my hydroponic plants and stuff. Oh, for sure. Yeah. So Linda, she's probably seeing how much she could get from you. Absolutely. I never sent her money. Like, sorry. I had a young child and I was in school. So no, I had zero money to send to anybody. So, and at this point she got sentenced and she had a parole hearing in 2015, which she didn't get. I think she got out in 2023 or, but this all happened, I think, in 2008. So yeah, she was trying to see if she could get anything out of me. The audacity of asking me for $10,000. I'm like, I am a broke ass mom with a young child. I have zero money to give. Like, sending her the books, I sent like $40 worth of books, and that was a stretch for me at the time. Yeah, you could lead a horse to water. So I am in Maine. I'm in northern Maine. We used to have a business in Pennsylvania, in northeastern Pennsylvania. So, yes, you hear a dog. No, the dog doesn't want to eat. He wants to go outside and run around, but it's 7 degrees outside. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for that sticker. I appreciate that. It's, it is Cynthia's 10th super on a live stream. Thank you, Cynthia. The advice you gave her was priceless. She didn't take it, though. You're gassed, we're flabbered. What do we do in Maine? Well, let's see. We have a business. We are a Type 702 manufacturer of firearms. Thank you, Kenda. Thank you, Kenda Catalini. Where's my little... Hang on, I want to get my card again. I'll be right back. Stop it. No, stop. my downside to getting over being sick is like you constantly have a chill. Anyway. So we are a manufacturer of firearms. We have an online store. You could check out the links in my bio to see our online store. And yeah, see all of our other socials. Thank you, Sherry. Do I know whatever happened to her? So actually, Liz, I did look her up like 2 days ago after watching this Love After Lockup because it made me think about her. Mostly because of all the people being like, oh, can you put money on my books? And unfortunately, that's what made me think of her. I looked her up. She, her sentence was up in 2023, so she's probably out. I looked up her name on social media, on Google. I could not find anything, so I'm sure she's out if she was supposed to get out in 2023. I didn't see anything new like about her getting in trouble. Thank you, Sherry. Thanks, Linda. Again, so my guess is she's probably laying kind of low. She might use a different name on social media. Thank you, Deborah. So yeah, I couldn't find her. And I mean, not that I was looking too hard. I just looked up her full name and all I could find was like all the previous stuff and like a parole hearing in 2015 that she didn't get. Yeah, so it is warm. Ernie. I hope she changed too. I hope she did something. That was another thing about this show, Love After Lockup, that that was frustrating because several of the people were in there for a substantial amount of time, like over 5 years. And I'm like, and you didn't go to school or learn a trade? Like, there's so many opportunities where you could have done that. And then they didn't. So they get out and they're like, I don't like to work and stuff. I'm like, oh, well, that's why you're going back. You know, like, if it were me, I would come out with a fucking PhD. Like, would I be able to use it? I don't know. But like, I would take full advantage of all schooling. I would work out every fucking, much like I do now. Like, I would work out. I would be fucking ripped coming out. And I would be so highly educated. Could I use it? Would I be working at an ice cream stand? Probably. But, you know, like, I would take the time to be like, I need to do something better with my life. So, but same here, Philip. I hope she learns from it. They can have whole ass degrees. Yes. Yeah, some people come out learning the law. I've met people that came out and like did social services, you know, and outreach programs and stuff like that. A friend of mine, another friend of mine, which I didn't find out that he did a murder for hire. I didn't find this out till way after I met him. This is another wild story. So I have this friend, super, super nice guy, will bend over backwards for you. So positive, so light. I remember several times I invited him to the range with us, and he never said anything. He never like accepted or declined. And he's like, oh, that sounds great. And then wouldn't say anything. I didn't know he was a felon. So this is probably 4 years after I met him. A friend of mine started talking to him like on a romantic level, and my friend is she's like me, she's nosy as fuck, but like because he was just like a mutual acquaintance, I didn't think to Google him. Well, she did because she was like interested in him romantically. She looked him up, and he was in a murder for hire scheme, and he did 10 years in prison. Thank you, Margaret. And he's brilliant. He at least did his time the right way. He got a master's degree in mathematics and engineering, which, awesome. Now, could he do a whole lot with that? With the felony? Not so much, but he was doing interesting work. He was like helping design like snowboard courses and like jumps and like just he was working for like a mountain resort and making like obstacles and stuff for them. So using his engineering and stuff putting it to good use. Like, there's no way he's going to be able to go work at like a nuclear power plant or something that like requires high levels of security clearance. But, you know, he found a way that he can use that. Anyway, so my friend starts talking to him romantically, and hey, Shirley, and within a day, she messages me. She's like, have you Googled him? I was like, no, why would I? Because like, he's just a friend. So, and he was super nice, so accommodating, so nice, so positive. So I think in terms of rehabilitation, the prison system did right with him because he's such a great guy. Super nice, very smart. I looked him up. Yep, he was involved in a murder for hire. And I was just like, there's someone dead because you put a hit on him. The other two guys that committed that actually like saw it through to the end, they got life sentences because he put the hit out on the person. He got 10 years. So yeah. I'm like, why do I keep meeting all these people? Why does this keep happening? Mind blown. Yeah, same here. So when my friend told me, she was like, look him up. This big time podcaster did a whole like hour-long like episode on him and this murder for hire, and like they interviewed the FBI agents that were involved. It was this podcast is put together by an ex-FBI agent. It's just, yes, I made the sweater, Jackie. Yeah, I listened to this podcast. I reached out to them. I reached out to this podcaster. I was like, yo, hi, this is going to sound weird. I think because she didn't include a picture of the person like on it, but they had the same name, from the same town, living in the same town and stuff. But I just wanted to make sure. I was like, hey, do you happen to have a picture of this person? Because I think my friend is possibly dating this guy. And she's like, let me dig around. And she found like some stuff and sent it to me. And I'm like, yep, that's him. Fuck. So yeah, so that ended up being him. And like, I did distance myself after that because like, okay. And while I did talk to him, but I did create a whole lot of distance there. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for that super. And that's your first super on this live stream. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Liz. I hope you have a great day too, Liz. Thank you. So I did distance myself because if it had been like, okay, he got popped with drugs or if he, you know, wrote bad checks or something, like, well, like there'd be distance, it'd be like, ah, it's all right. This is a murder for hire. He was like a drug kingpin. That was just snow from my thing.
Right, I was making sure.
He was a drug kingpin dealing on a military base, and somebody owed him money, so he put a hit out on them, and they got killed. And yeah, so are we dating the same guy? Pages on Facebook are pure entertainment. This one is fucking, but this one goes wild. Like, reading what I read about this murder for hire, I'm like, is this the same person? He's so nice.
Jamie?
Yeah, you said it. He knew exactly who I was talking about. Yeah. It's just fucking wild. But like, in terms of like, and you met Jamie, like you know. In terms of,
actually, true about Fred Fleck because he's overly nice now.
yeah. So
he's
like
compensating for all the bad he's done.
Yes. So that, but I do feel like the prison system. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you so much for that super chat. I do think the prison system did right and rehabilitated him because he came out with a master's in mathematics and engineering. He's very nice. He's very like helpful and stuff. I think in terms of rehab, that one went well. instead of him getting right back into the shit. Now, is there still distance there? Do I talk to him? No, you know, but like, I don't know, what would you say? It's not like he went back to it.
No, he learned it. He mastered some of his trades. He's an amazing welder.
Yeah.
And he seems to be doing better for himself. Mm-hmm. So if we never would have dug into that, we never would have known.
Yeah, yeah. And I only found out because my friend she did right. She's talking to him romantically, and she's like, I want to know about this guy. And yeah. So, oh God. Yeah, don't worry about them, guys. But, although, so he is super nice. He's super helpful. He took those trades, got the degree and stuff. And I wish that my ex-sister-in-law, that I wish she would have done that. She did not. And I'm like, well, you wasted all that time. You wasted the time because you did what you did. And then you wasted more time by just sitting there, not doing anything, not learning anything, and not trying to better yourself. So that when you do get out, because like, how old is she now? That was 16. So she's not even 30 yet. Yeah, she's not even 30 yet. She could have gotten like so much education under her belt, and she chose not to.
Why not take advantage of it while you're in the prison?
Right. Well, that's why I brought up Jamie versus my ex's little sister, because like he did 10 years and he took the time to like get degrees, learn trades and stuff so that he can get out and like hit the ground running, whereas she did nothing. So like she just wasted that time. Like the time was kind of a waste to begin with because you got yourself in there, but she could have taken advantage and she just didn't, which is kind of enraging. You're like, well, you're probably going to end up there again. So, but does anybody else have any like prison stories? Now that I think about it, like it just, yeah. Highly recommend that show though. But if you guys have any comments or anything, you could put it on the video after it gets posted. But I'm going to jump out of here for now. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to hop off YouTube right now. I'm going to jump on TikTok. Make sure you go to the links in my bio. Make sure you follow me on all my social media. Check out our online store. We are a Type 702 manufacturer. And thank you, Sherry. And yeah, so, and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so that you get notified when I go live. And I'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye, everybody.